Oh, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Oh, okay, wait, that's not good. Okay, let me move that over here so I can see what you're seeing. Okay, and last but not least, the slides. Okay, slides are on the way. Wow, today is the 6th. I cannot believe it. All right. Let me see who was here first. Is that Adrian Burrow? No, it was Carol Lund. Thank you so much for being here first. I appreciate it. Well, let's see if we can get out of here in an hour. Really think we should. Okay. Uh oh, okay. Is that my slides? Is it? Oh, I forgot to put all right. I see what I did. Let me go ahead and put that over there. Just to say I did. I'm going to bring the slides up one more time. Give me a second. Okay. Um, okay, better. Hi, Big Mama. Thank you for being here. uh, well, I appreciate you being here. Thank you for being a moderator. You are a treasure. You're an absolute treasure. Okay, there we go. Um, so, um, Royal News Update. You know what that means, right? I couldn't think of a better title. Next, Kamala. I go back and forth. Um, anyway, I pray our next president of the United States has chosen a running mate. Valtz is his name. Wait a minute, what is his first name? Is it Tim Valtz? It is Tim, right? Yeah. Hold on a second. Let me make sure. Tim Valtz. Why am I doubting myself? Why am I doubting myself? Mm. Oh, it is Tim, right? Okay, thank you. Who else am I thinking about? Tim Valtz. Valtz. Anyway, that sounds German. Tim Valtz. Okay. Oh well, thank you so much, Adrian Burrow. I'm gonna keep praying. I don't know. I guess I'm nervous about it because it's so important. It is so important, and everything seems so perfect. It makes me nervous. Everything is going so well. It makes me nervous. All right. So anyway, what do we know about this guy? What do we know about this guy? Well, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you the very short bio. Very short bio. Okay. Tim. Uh, okay, so he's the governor of Minnesota. Oh, this man has got some jowls on him. He has some jowls, don't he? It looks cute, though. I mean, it looks cute for him. but he has got some jowls. Just like a little baby, I want to run up and pinch his little cheeks or gigantic cheeks. Um, all right. So, according to Wikipedia, Tim James Waltz, Waltz was born April 6, 1964. Oh my God. Every time they say the age of a president, in this case, vice president, it is so close to my age. Oh God, why? How am I like the age of a president? Huh? How am I old enough? One day I fell asleep and I had just turned 35, right? And when I turned 35, I'm like, well, it's official. I'm old enough to be president of the United States. And it seemed like I woke up and gosh darn it. This cannot be. How am I presidential age? I don't like that. I don't like that. Oh, you're saying the biscuits and gravy will do that to those jowls, to those cheeks. How am I presidential age? This is not right. That is so weird to me. I cannot be presidential age. I just can't. I can't. Oh, that is frightening. Yeah, he looks older, doesn't he? He looks older. He looks older, but you know what? He has a lot of energy, and that's really going to come in handy. So he was born in 1964, is an American politician, former school teacher, and retired United States Army non-commissioned officer who has served as the 41st governor of Minnesota since 2019 and chair of the Democratic Governors Association since 2023, a member of the Democratic Party. Um, he is nominee for vice president in the 2024 United States presidential election. He was a member of the United States House of Representatives from 2007 to 2019, representing Minnesota's first congressional district. Valks was born in West Point, Nebraska. After high school, he joined the Army National Guard and worked a blue collar manufacturing job. He later graduated with a teaching degree from Chardron State College in Nebraska before moving to Minnesota in 1996. Before running for Congress, he was a social studies teacher. Ooh, one of my favorite topics. I love social studies. And football coach in the Mankato School District. He was elected to the United States House of Representatives for Minnesota's 1st Congressional District in 2006, defeating six-term Republican incumbent Gil Gutnecht. Gutnecht. Gosh, that's another very Guteneck. Gutenech. Okay, very German-sounding name. God, Waltz, Guteneck. Did we lose the war? I'm sorry, I have to ask, did we lose the war? Because I thought we won that one. Did we lose? That's bad, ain't it? That is so bad. Anyway, I done lost track of where I was. He was reelected 5 times, resigning in 2009 after being elected governor. Waltz represented a large, mostly rural section of southern Minnesota, situated along the border of Iowa. And let's see, he was elected governor in November of 2018, defeating the Republican nominee. Well, he has a great record of beating Republicans. He beat the incumbent for his congressional seat, and then he defeated the governor, incumbent governor. So, yeah, so he knows how to fight. He must be a great fighter. He was elected governor in Minnesota, defeating the Republican nominee. Oh, well, it was a nominee. He wasn't the incumbent. Winnipeg County Commissioner Jeff Johnson, he was reelected in 2022, defeating Republican Scott Jensen. During the second term, Volz pushed for and signed wide range of legislation, including tax modifications, free school meals, bolstering the state infrastructure, background checks for firearms, codifying abortion rights, and free college tuition for low income families. And in August of this year, August 6th, it says, Vice President Kamala Harris announced her selection of Volz as her running mate in the 2024 United States presidential election, which was certified that night. Okay, so there you go. He is on the ticket. Good God, 1954. I'm sorry, 1964. Did I say 54? 64. All right. So he's a baby boomer. He is a baby boomer. He does look much older, but as you can see, he probably had premature gray hair. Oh, well. Uh-oh, what did I just do? Oops, didn't mean to do that. Okay, maybe I don't need that. I'll just work it like this. Okay, so that's the running mate. Now you know a little bit more about him. There he is as a young man, and there he is as he is seen today, the governor of Minnesota, governor of the proud state of Minnesota. The same state synonymous with one of my favorite television sitcom characters, Rose Nyland. Rose Nyland. There's a very large population of Scandinavian people in the Midwest, especially around Minnesota. So there you go. And did you all know that there actually is a St. Olaf University? Yeah, you're getting that Santa vibe, huh? It makes me wonder too. Makes me wonder too. Okay, so there it is. Now, let's get on with this then, so we can try to get out of here in an hour. Today's Spear Demon, 6,000 cops on standby. 6,000 cops on standby. And look at how many cities are involved. Gosh, I can barely see that, but let me give it a try. I can barely see that, but let me give it a try. Wait, where the heck is it? Oh, there it is. So it is Aldershot, Canterbury, Chatham, Chelmsford, Bedford, Birmingham, Blackburn, Blackpool, Bolton, Brentford, Brighton, Bristol, Cheadle, Derby, Harrow, Hastings, Hull, Kent, Lincoln, Liverpool, Middlesbrough, Newcastle, North Finchley, Northampton, Nottingham, Oldham, Oxford, Peterborough, Portsmouth, Preston, Rotterdam, Sheffield, Stoke. Let me see, Southampton. Didn't I say that already? Northampton. Okay, Southampton. I didn't know there were two. North End, Sunderland, Thanworth, Walthamstow, and Wigan. Walthamstow? I thought y'all won the war. Did we win? Okay, I'm not going to do that again. So those are all the places where they have the 6,000 police on standby. Dansby, can you believe it? Can you believe it? I mean, this is so apocalyptic. It really is apocalyptic. Unbelievable. And listen, there's a lot of innocent people. The majority of the country is innocent of this stuff. There's a lot of people that have nothing to do with anything, and this is going to disrupt everybody, which is the sad part. This is going to disrupt everybody. And there's some people who cannot afford to miss work that may have to miss work because they're afraid to leave their homes. Oh, yeah, there really is already. There is already. This is hurting my stomach. I have to read books mentioning these places in UK. What the? Yeah. Let me see. Blacks and other people of color who were born in Great Britain need to realize not to take that racial crap anymore. They need to band together and fight for their rights and not put up with this stuff anymore. Um, you know, okay, as a matter of fact, let me show you a map that I saw today. I'm going to show you a map. And this map surprised me because it's something that I've always taken for granted. Let's see here. Just saw this today. You see that? What offers citizenship, land or blood? The rule of land, meaning that if you're born there, you are automatically a citizen. If born in the Blue Nations, you are automatically offered citizenship irrespective of your parents' nationality. And if you move over to the red side of things, if you're born in the Red Nations, your citizenship depends on the citizenship of your parents. Now, this is going to mean something later, and I'll show you why. But that is just something I took for granted. I thought if I was born, let's say in the United Kingdom, then automatically I'm a citizen. But over here, it depends. It just depends. Rule of blood, rule of land. So look at all of the places where you're not automatically considered a citizen as a birthright. And then, of course, in the United States, we have what they call the anchor baby, meaning that if you can just get across that border and give birth, then you could use that child as an anchor to appeal for your own or apply for your own citizenship. Hence the term anchor baby. Now, I'm not really comfortable with that term. It sounds awful, but that's what they call it. So I had no idea that in all those other nations, that you're not automatically a citizen given your birthright. That is, or should I say, your citizenship is not a matter of birthright. I didn't know that. I thought that, every nation, if you're born in France, you're French, right? And even in Africa, it's not automatically a birthright. But in the Western Hemisphere, every nation but Colombia, every nation but Colombia, you are considered a citizen by birth. It's very interesting how in the Western Hemisphere is so different from the Eastern Hemisphere. Looks like Chad and, gosh, I can't make out those other ones. Is that Bangladesh or is that Pakistan? Let me see. I think that's Pakistan, ain't it? Yeah, that's Pakistan. Mozambique, Lesotho, Nambia, Tanzania. Yeah, those are the nowhere in East Asia. Nowhere. There's no place where you can just, nowhere. My. Okay, so there you have it. Interesting, isn't it? Never knew that. I thought that that was something that was a given. I thought every nation was like that, but no. It's just a select few in the Eastern Hemisphere and just about everybody, all but Colombia in the Western Hemisphere. Yeah, they're trying to stop people from dashing to the U.S. to have a baby. They really are trying to stop people from doing that. So Heather Stroud says, I'm an army brat born in England of Australian parents, so English by birth, Australian by descent. But if I claim English citizenship, I lose my Australian nationality. Interesting. Hmm. Okay. Well, I tell you what, everybody, I just learned this myself, so we've all learned something new today. They're all places colonized and brutalized by upper blue map section. I don't mean to laugh, but I understand what you're saying. After independence. Oh, yeah, very true. Well, now see, Adrian Burrow, that was a choice because I remember when they were, I think it was Jesse Jackson and the like, they were pushing the idea of saying African American, because they didn't like the fact that before DNA testing, um, we didn't have that hyphenated thing with our nationality or our identity, and a lot of people push for it. Now, of course, you know, there are people who are questioning whether or not that makes sense. So I do recall when they went on that big push to say African American. Hmm. Okay, now I'm gonna move on. I got a whole bunch of interesting maps that I'll be using on other occasions. I downloaded a whole bunch of stuff today that I might use on occasion, but we'll see if the topics come up. So take a look there. You can see how serious this whole situation is with all the people on the street. And married racist couple who attacked Kurdish man with a metal pole, screaming, "Go back to your own country, to your country," are jailed. Now, I tell you, they don't really look like the type of people that you see in the movies, do they? I don't want to say this is the real England. I, I'm not even going to say that they're human, but they got a nerve. I will say that they got a nerve, don't they? And this lady on the right, she has made international headlines. Is she a vampire? Is she yeah, I'll just leave it at is she a vampire? Lex says England denigrates, subjugates their subjects. Wales, Scotland, is that new? What is NI? They rob the British royal family included. They're poor and blame immigrants. They're poor and angry. The uh, Imagine English projects that is not what is not what is poor feels. Well, thank you so much for the super chat. Uh, well, what is the NI? So Wales, Scotland, oh, Northern Ireland. Oh, I'm so sorry, Northern Ireland. I had to think about that one for a second. All right. You know, the idea of class, it's so much like the old caste system, um, which is probably the why India took to the British so well, is because this idea of a caste system, which of course in England is, well, in Britain, England is a class system. Either way, I think that, I don't know, it seems like certain people are comfortable with being a permanent member of the underclass. Does that make sense? As though there's no vision for for themselves or for their children, for their grandchildren to ever be anything more. In other words, there's no American dream. There's no American dream. In the US, it really is like dynasty. One day you're a pauper, and the next day, you know, you're rich. Now that doesn't happen to a lot of people, but in the US, you just always have that notion that you're going to come into a lot of money. Sometimes you have no idea where it's going to come from, but you just know that there's some money out there with your name on it. Like, I remember there was a lady in California who had a distant relative that she didn't even know. And when they were cleaning out the deceased house, there was all of these rare coins, and the people that were there turned it in. And so this woman is sitting there minding her own business, and I want to say she got like about $600,000 that she never knew she had, right? That can change a person's life. That is like winning the lottery. I don't know if the rest of the world experiences that. And then the fact that, like, the merchant princes, I mean, don't get me wrong, the British, they had their merchant princes. the people that could just come up with an idea or a product or something like that, and they can kind of buy their way into the aristocracy, not really for themselves, but for their children, right? At some point, their children might get up there. But in the US, there is no aristocracy. I mean, there's obviously some upper class people, but if you can pay, you can play. That's how it is in New York. If you can pay, you can play. They don't care where you came from. And I just think that, unfortunately, I don't think a lot of people in the UK have that notion. It just doesn't seem that way. I mean, I may be wrong because I don't know. Thank you for your comment, Legs. I don't know, but subjugate, denigrate, they really do take the population, these subjects, the citizens. I think that they really do take them for granted. And I think they really buy into the idea of a permanent underclass. And sadly, I think that a lot of the subjects of the king believe that that's as good as it gets. Why hope for more? Um, you know what, Rosie? That is an excellent point. That is an excellent point, and I thank you so much for saying that. There has been huge groups of people that have organized to defend their property, to defend their places of worship, defend the shops in their communities. Absolutely. And they deserve all the praise for having done so. It's not like people are just taking it. That is an excellent point. Thank you so much for saying that. Excellent point. I have seen huge groups of people that are just not going to take it. You know what, Adrian? So true. Um, there are, I mean, there are people here in the U.S. that do accept the permanent underclass. They really do. They really accept the idea of being part of a permanent underclass. Uh, yeah, thank you, Rosie. Again, that's an excellent point. It's not all one sided for sure. Well, all that didn't end up in Australia. Remember, Australia was a penal colony. Uh, hmm, okay, maybe now the black and brown folks over there will pay attention. Tina and Michelle have been telling these people this for years, but they harassed them. Now what is going on? Now what is going on? Harry told, yeah, Harry just said it wasn't safe. He did say that. So Malaysia warned citizens. Nigeria, Indonesia, Australia warned citizens about travel. Fresh warnings for Australian travelers is violent riots, rocked the UK. UAE warned citizens stay away from riot hit areas in UK. Scotland and Wales warned citizens about travel to England. Let me say that again. Scotland and Wales warned citizens about travel to England. Exercise a high degree of caution. Oh, that's from Canada, right? Yeah, the Canadian government. Exercise a high level of caution. We did not come to Britain. Britain came to us. Remember that. We did not come to Britain. Britain came to us. This young lady that I was telling you all about that made such an excellent observation about how ignorant it is for people to cry, go back to your own country, when after World War I and then World War II, huge portions of the population, mostly men, died on the battlefields, died in the trenches, died at the bottom of the ocean. And so they appealed to the Commonwealth, to the empire, the Commonwealth. They appealed to to India and the Caribbean countries like Jamaica. Please come and help us rebuild the motherland. After all, you're part of the imperial family, as the Queen says. My life, be it long or be it short, that we are all part of our great imperial family, right? The good old-fashioned imperial family. Well, the imperial family wasn't much of a family when it came to the Windrush. How do you tell people to come over to the motherland? You don't need a passport. You stay, you work, you pay your taxes. And then when it's time to retire, not only do they not want to pay you money, they want to send you back to, let's say, Jamaica. We don't have any record of you being here. But you didn't need a passport when you came over there. You're all part of the same big happy family. Now all of a sudden, you're treated like a non-citizen. That is insane. And the Home Office got away with it. It reminds me, I mean, okay, yeah, it reminds me of this. I don't see how so many Asian or Arab, Muslim, anyone from a certain Muslim country, I don't know how they could justify voting for Donald Trump. When he created that Muslim ban, do you know how many people could not go to funerals, to weddings, to family reunions? And if you could go, you would be afraid to leave the country for fear that you couldn't come back. And with the stroke of a pen, he lives, ruined lives with the stroke of a pen. And people that witnessed that believe that, okay, that was them, that's not me, as though he doesn't have something up his sleeve that can ruin your life. Doesn't matter how much they paid, how much money was lost. There's a Muslim ban. A Muslim ban. Why do I care about this? Why do I care about people that are in situations that would likely never happen to me? Because they're still people. They're still people. And because it's wrong. I don't understand the selfishness that some people have, that they're okay with that. It's not just arrogant, it's selfish. It is selfish. Oh, okay. I tell you what, that image on the screen, it just reminded me of something. It just triggered something. It just triggered something. Let me see if I could find it. Okay. Okay, here I go. See there? Trump wanted to build the wall, but he was about, I don't know, several hundred miles too north, or too south, rather. He should have built the wall across the northern part of California, Nevada, New Mexico. Is that part of Montana there? Texas. Yeah, that's where the wall should be, because that is the Mexican territory seized by the United States in 1848. That is part of the Mexican territory that was seized by the United States. They took it. Manifest destiny, that's what they call it. They took it. But remember, the United States is not an empire, but they took it. They took it. So, how do I put it? We didn't cross the border crossed us. Remember that. Remember that phrase. We didn't cross the border crossed us. So when they're telling people, "Oh, so and so is crossing the border illegally," but the border crossed them. We didn't cross the border crossed us. If you're going to build the wall, build it where it should be. Build it where it should be. That's the real border, not the one that you see on the maps. So, and what was King Charles III doing with all of the mayhem that is taking place, all the anarchy, all of the destruction? What is Charles doing about it? Charles is at the Highland Games. I repeat, Charles is at the Highland Games. Charles is showing people what a pretty girl looks like if you just give her the right frock. Let me see. Esmeralda says, better remember, first they came for the Muslims, next they will come for us. Shorten the verse. Okay, there you go. There you go. That's why I said, if you think he doesn't have something for the rest of us, sadly mistaken. Ulibi says some Mexican families in those regions have been there before the United States took territories. How ironic, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's very ironic. Very ironic. So, a French Olympic pole vaulter eliminated after his bulging manhood knocked over the bar finally breaks his silence with hilarious joke video. It roughly translates, you make more buzz for your, well, I think it's supposed to be, they make more buzz. Yeah, you make more buzz for my package than for my performance. That's what it's supposed to say. I'm sorry, it didn't translate well. But very true. There's more buzz about the package than about the performance. So anyway, he's what's his name? Something Arminetti. He's a good sport about it. Um, and if you recall, he was doing the pole vault, and as he was trying to, you know, snake over the pole, no pun intended, he got caught. He got caught up. And did you hear that one of those websites is offering him $250,000 if he will make an appearance on their website, on their website. They're offering him $250,000. Yep, $250,000. So, but of course, he would have to. I think they want more than just. Well, anyway, $250,000. All I could say is I'd have to think about it. Eric Trump hurls blistering insult at Meghan and Harry and hints the British prince could be deported if his father wins presidential election. Now, do y'all remember what I was saying earlier about anchor babies? Remember what I was saying about anchor babies? Um, it looks like somebody dropped the anchor, and that's why he's here. That's why he's here. For somebody who wants to keep so many people out of the United States, um, I would say that Donald Trump looked outside of the United States twice. I don't know if it was a catalog that he used. I don't know if it was a plane ticket, but he has gone abroad and came back with abroad. Isn't that something? Abroad. He literally has gone abroad and come back with abroad. Uh-oh, I dropped my phone. Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah. He went abroad and came back with abroad. And she wasn't always an old broad either. Unfortunately, she died tragically, found at the bottom of the staircase in her luxurious townhouse in Manhattan. What a pity. What a pity. Um, but yeah. So now Donald Trump's son fancies himself the decision maker as to who stays and who goes, I guess. I guess he works for the State Department, or he has a position waiting for him at the State Department. Okay, well, I guess he's the decider now. Although I'm telling you, sometimes when I think anchor baby, it makes me wonder, where did they drop that anchor? if you picking up where I'm putting down, where did they drop the anchor? You know what I'm saying? Because when you drop the anchor, you can do a lot of damage. And then, of course, Ivana, it was reported that Ivana was cremated. It took 10 pallbearers buried at a golf course. Take a look at the size of that coffin. And why does it take 10 pallbearers for somebody who was cremated and buried at a golf course? Listen, you can say whatever you want to about the royal family. I don't think that anybody in that family has ever been buried at a golf course. His father cared so much for his mother that she was buried as a tax shelter at a golf course. You know, one of those people from GB News came over and they interviewed Eric Trump, right? And of course, they don't like to let people step away without saying something disparaging about the Sussexes. And he took the bait. Now, I didn't say that. I didn't say that, but there are people who seem to believe that there may have been other things inside of there besides human remains. Yes, I've heard that. I've heard that. As a matter of fact, if one was to take a good look at that tombstone, you could see the unusual inscription. I mean, take a good look at that tombstone. What do you see? Let me tell you, I will zoom in for you. How's this if I zoom in? Would you like that? It says Ivana Trump and also nuclear secret and stuff. See there? Squint your eyes. Go ahead, squint your eyes. It says Ivana Trump and also nuclear secrets and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, Ivana Trump and also nuclear secrets and stuff. Yeah. Un yeah. Ivana Trump and nuclear secrets and stuff. Yeah. Nothing to see here. Just move on. Move on. Ivana Trump and also nuclear secrets and stuff. Yeah. See there? Nothing to see. Just Ivana Trump and nuclear secrets and stuff. Looks like any typical grave, even if it is at the edge of a golf course. Yeah, instead of worrying about Harry and Meghan, if I was him, I would ask, why did my daddy go out of his way to bury my mama at the edge of a golf course? I mean, there are people that will be using her plot as a putting green. Doesn't that bother him at all? Can he see past some of that cosmetic surgery? uh, okay, moving on. And let's not forget the tabloids when Trump was there. Remember how he asked some questions about Harry and Meghan? And anyway, it was very silly, but it was someone from Fox. No, it wasn't Fox News. I forgot. I think I don't know what news group was she from, if you can call that news, but it was silly. Um, well, Donald Trump has been very bizarre. Um, I guess parts of some of the game shows. I still can't figure out this puzzle. Yeah. Is that putty? Is that putty? Like silly putty? Putty? Oh, well. And then what about this one? Um, let's see. You only got two pieces left. Either way, it's pretty bad, ain't it? Either way, it is pretty bad. Not a whole lot of options, right? Not a whole lot of options. And not a possibility of buying a vowel either. Yeah. Hi, Mary H. I didn't know you were here. Not any good options, I'm afraid. And what about this one? During the global pandemic, this one was also on Wheel of Fortune. It had something to do with his lackluster response to the global pandemic. Yeah. And also, when it comes to black jobs, and of course, these are interns, but the principle is still the same. This is the Obama White House compared to the Trump White House. It's like day and night. The Obama White House, the Trump White House. And yet, there's a lot of black people that say they're going to vote for Donald Trump. Now, let's get on to the Olympics. I hate that this is a thing. Simone Biles and what's her name? Jordan Chills. They decided to celebrate the Brazilian medalist, right? And her name is Rebecca. Is it Andrade? Andrade? Rebecca Andrade? They decided to celebrate her win. And so Simone Biles and Jordan Childs bowed to Rebecca Andrade as she wins gold in the women's floor final in a great display of sportsmanship. I thought it was cute. I thought it was fun. They did something like a little curtsy or whatever. What's the big deal? What is the big deal? Andrade. Oh, it's Andrade? Thank you. So what's the big deal? I thought it was fun, funny, sweet. But instead, there's one football player in particular who seems to have a problem with it. These girls cannot just have fun. They won't leave these kids alone. I wish they would leave these kids alone. Let them enjoy themselves. Instead of people celebrating the Olympics, sometimes I see like a channel will pop up and all they want to talk about is the terrible things at the Olympics, the food, the cardboard beds. It would be the most memorable thing I could imagine if I was participating in the Olympic Games. I couldn't think of anything that a young person could enjoy better than that. But instead, there is just so much criticism. So much criticism. One thing after the other. These girls are having their moment. They're enjoying themselves. And for Simone Biles to be the GOAT, instead of thinking about herself in this moment, she's celebrating this young lady from Brazil. And let's not forget, you have 1, 2, 3 women of African descent that has dominated. They have dominated this moment. Say nothing of that. Just think of the criticisms. Yes, thank you so much. What they did, Black women celebrating each other. Absolutely. Absolutely. We all know how the world has treated Black women. And so if they cannot, with their full chest, celebrate each other without worrying about what people think, I don't know what makes sense. It just, that right there does not make sense. Where is that? Okay, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. What he said. That's what I have to say. What he said. The most unprotected person in the world is the Black woman. And these kids can't even go to the Olympics without unnecessary controversy. Speaking of controversy, um, this is a Richard Eden, aka Maureen. Maureen, look at this setup. Let's dissect this setup. What is this? He's got the faux camera, I mean projector rather. He has the 8 millimeter camera. Looks like the Zapruder film was inside of it. He has some of those little plants that you buy from Trader Joe's. Something that looks like some old vintage books. A royal coffee mug, and some of those Thomas Alva Edison looking, he got a Thomas Edison lamp. What is the point of any of this? Does anybody know what topic he was discussing? He was actually talking about um, the real reason for the rift between Harry and his brother. First of all, who cares what you think? How many times do we have to talk about it? It really boils down to William is jealous of Harry. That's it. William is jealous of Harry. Nothing else. That's the whole reason for this falling out. It was true before Meghan and it's true today. So, what kind of person would rehash the same nonsense in this? In this, I don't know what the setup is, but if it's to inspire the idea that he has credibility, he's an absolute failure or a rat. He's just such a rat. He's a rat. Plain and simple, eating the scraps off the floor, scurrying across the floor looking for little scraps to eat, like a rat. A vermin, a pest. He's an absolute pest. Not a man, a pest. Pestilence. That popped up on my YouTube. I made sure not only did I block it, I mean, delete it. I mean, what am I saying? Not only did I put not interested, but I also deleted it from the history so that it wouldn't drive over to somebody else's algorithm. You know what I mean? People watching what you watch. I did not want anybody else to see it. Ah.
Gotcha. I think I understand now. I think I understand. I was all wrong. Maybe it wasn't the communications secretary. Commander Rob Dixon accompanies Prince William. He sure does. He sure does. With a nice full head of hair, a very youthful hairline. Oh, yeah. During times of sorrow, Rob Dixon is there. In times of happiness and joy and utter sorrow and despair, you can count on Rob Dixon. Dixon, nice name, Dixon. So I'm just glad to know that William is not alone in his feelings, that there's somebody by his side, someone who looks at him as adoringly as Meghan looks at Harry. uh, Someone who looks to him as a good, strong set of shoulders to lean on, the same way that Meghan looks at Harry. I'm happy. I'm very happy. Nobody should be alone, should they? Yeah, nobody should be alone. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. And this, of course, I didn't know that Pixar made a movie about the Montgomery, Alabama brawl, but there it is right there. Disney Pixar presents Brawl. Wow. I want to see that. I want to see that. And look, there's Aquaman back there with his big twister braids or whatever. How about that? I bet it's a good movie. And a little sad note, though, I have to tell you this, God, I hate to tell you, but Misan Harriman is no longer on Twitter. He is no longer on Twitter. For the sake of his mental health and well being, he has decided to leave Twitter. And I don't blame him. I do not blame him. It's necessary. Now, I'll let you hear it from his own words. Let me see here.
So, I mean, since Elon Musk has bought Twitter, it's been a challenge staying on. But I deactivated my Twitter page yesterday after his crazy civil war tweet. You can now deactivate your page for either 30 days or a year. I've done mine for a year at least, probably permanently even. But the fact that you can do it in that way quickly is a good thing. Unless you have a really good reason to be on Twitter, I suggest you take a sabbatical. There is unfiltered rage alongside a huge amount of misinformation. One of my biggest frustrations with Twitter is that I'm very careful who I follow. Yet when I came into the home feed, I was just seeing anti-climate action, anti-trans, racism from pages, big pages that I do not follow, but that was being delivered to me. It's ridiculous. You can't even choose what you see there, and you're just fed with lies and hatred all the time. Very disappointing that Twitter has gone this way. And yeah, I'm out. So if you're looking for me, you're not going to find me there for the foreseeable future. Not after yesterday. Cheers, and you can always find me on Insta. Bye.
Okay, so you heard it directly from Misan Harriman. He is off of Twitter. for the sake of his mental health and well-being, he has decided to get off of Twitter. It could be a dangerous place. It can be a very dangerous place. And now that it has Elon Musk, it can really damage a person. So yeah. Well, I think that what happened, as he said, Elon Musk has gone to war with Keir Starmer. There has been a war of words between Elon Musk and Keir Starmer, and a lot of things were being put onto his feed. Every time you open up his Twitter, there was a lot of negative things there that he didn't even ask for. Negative things from people he was not following. And yet this garbage was appearing on his page. So in order to, spare himself, he just got off of Twitter. He deactivated his account temporarily. He said you can do that for up to a year. So he's exercised that option. So that was it. I don't think it was anything directed toward him, but it was just to avoid the negativity. Yeah, it is always important to take care of your mental health. So important. So, yeah, but he's on Instagram. Remember, you can still find him on Instagram. Now, I've never seen this photo of Harry before, but I love it. So I'm sharing it with you. I love this photo. I love it. Great photo of Harry. He's just such a kid there. He is just such a kid. He's not a prince. He's not in line for the throne. He's just a kid, a very happy kid. This is like my new favorite photo of Harry. And with that, I am done. Was that an hour? Hour and 15 minutes. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, you all. Thank you so much. I will see you all tomorrow. Love you guys. Have a good night. Thank you to the Mod Squad for keeping this a safe space. And yeah, I'm just gonna say good night. Good night, y'all.